Hello, good to be with you guys. I'm here, Pastor Climola, here to talk with Nancy Borders, who's the top dog here at Trinity. You might have thought it was Pastor Love, or maybe you're more pious and you knew it's Jesus Christ. But when it comes to the Comfort Dog ministry team that we have here at Trinity, Nancy's been the top dog for the last 6 years-ish now.
Yes.
And we're looking at expanding our ministry here in Trinity and in Toledo, and we want you to be a part of it. So we're hoping that you'll stick around. At the end of this video, I have some important news that you'll want to hear about the timeline of when you'll get to meet our new dog. So that's the teaser to get you to stick through these next, hopefully, 5 minutes of what we're going to talk about today. So Nancy, like I said, 6 years we've been having a Comfort Dog ministry here at Trinity.
Right.
And Anna was the dog we met. She was our first and is our prime worker here. Ezra came on the scene. They go all over the place: courthouses, hospitals, preschools, classrooms. Responding to disasters. What is the purpose of this ministry?
Well, the mission statement is to share the mercy, presence, proclamation, and compassion of Jesus Christ with those who are hurting and in need.
All right.
That's the formal.
Yeah, and what that looks like is we get a team of people that take these dogs and they get invited to all sorts of places, and that's one of the reasons we're adding another dog, is because we get so many requests for visits and we only have so much time available, right?
Right.
So.
We only have so much time for the dogs, but also so much time for the people, the handlers and such, the team.
Right.
So if we expand the ministry, we feel like we can reach even more people.
Right, and we see benefits from this. We're making connections in the community. We're comforting people, but it's more than just comfort. We get to pray with people. We get to remind people of the Lord in heaven who's created all things, even a furry dog that they get to feel loved by and love on. And it's just a wonderful thing, and we want you to be a part of it. We'll just be clear. We really hope as you're watching this, you'll think, hey, how can I be a part of this? And we're not asking you for money. We don't need any financial assistance. We need bodies, and we need people to say, hey, that sounds like something I could do, right?
Right. And there's various levels of commitment, too.
Right. So let's talk about 3 that we want you to think about seriously.
Yes.
So we want handlers, we want ministry partners, and we want a social media manager. So let's start with the handler. What does a handler do?
Well, primarily the handler handles the dog.
Okay.
They go to Illinois, to Chicago area, and get trained. The dogs are already trained by that time.
Right.
The handlers then need to be trained. They need to understand all the commands of the dog. But not only that, the Lutheran Church Charities trains us as to how to communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
How to be good listeners.
So we learn not just how to hold the leash and tell the dog what to do, but also how to communicate with the people that the dog is connecting us to.
How to minister to them. And the dog provides the bridge to do that.
Yeah.
Going out on your own and talking to people, most of us feel pretty timid about that. But when you've got a dog between you and the person that you need to serve, you start talking about the dog.
Yeah.
And then that brings them, they start feeling really comfortable talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bridge.
Yeah.
Then they can start talking about what might be hurting them.
Right. Yeah. So the handler's a 3-day training process, and I, having gone through it a few years ago, I would strongly encourage it. If it seems like it's intimidating for you, it's a little bit intimidating, but it's so rewarding to have gone through those 3 days. I remember coming away from it being incredibly. It was a nice accomplishment, and my favorite part about it is I learned how to do something I hadn't done before, and that's like to handle a professional dog. I mean, these dogs are trained 2,000 hours in their first year of life, and we learn how to interact with them and lead them. And it was just, my favorite part was, being the father of 5 children, I don't always have people respond to what I tell them to do, and the dogs, they do what you tell them to do. And so it's a nice, rewarding thing to be able to handle the dogs.
It is. Yeah. They have some 30 commands or more that we use.
So they learn the language, and not just for the dog, but also for how to communicate. So.
Right.
So we have also then ministry partners. Tell me what they are.
Well, basically, they do everything that the handler does, with the exception of handling the dog.
Okay.
We'll train them. We come back from Chicago with some materials that we can help train the ministry partners so that they feel comfortable ministering to people, talking to them, listening. That's the biggest thing that most people want. You know, we might have the dog, the handler might have the dog and start the conversation, but the ministry partner's right there.
Right.
And they can continue that conversation and listening to what people need to tell us.
Yeah, so there's a little less as far as startup goes. You don't have to travel to be trained to be a ministry partner, but this is kind of the person. So you imagine a preschool room full of 15 children who all want to be touching and talking to the dog, and if you're holding the leash, you may not be able to play defense, and so the ministry, you can see what the ministry partner gets to do with that image in your mind. They're there to be excited with the kids and whatever crowd it might be, but also to help shield a little bit of the dog and to divert a little bit and direct things. So it's a team ministry. We don't send people out by themselves.
No, we don't.
So.
The ministry partner might be talking about the ministry. They've got the handler's back.
Yeah.
You know, we have the dogs. The handler has the dog's back.
Right.
Ministry partner has the handler's back.
Yeah, which is a really cool way to look at things and kind of see how it's set up. So, and there's a lot of things that go on behind the scene. One of the ones that we mentioned is the social media manager. So, Deb Fonke's done a great job for Anna's Facebook page, and I think you and Mac manage Ezra's Facebook page, and it's a rewarding on its own level, isn't it? So,
it is.
Who would be a good role for that?
Well, first of all, someone that understands Facebook and Instagram and enjoys Facebook and Instagram, and is able to write up things, write up posts from the pictures and the descriptions that the ministry partners or handlers give to them. Now that person can also be a ministry partner or handler. It helps, but it's not necessary.
Right. So it could be someone who's just, receiving the pictures and little snippets of stories, and they type them up and post them, and you can even schedule these things out.
Absolutely.
And so those are some of the ways that we're looking at. And if you're still sticking around because you want to hear the exciting news, this is the question I'm excited to ask Nancy. When will we see this new dog?
It will probably be within the next 4 to 6 months.
All right, so now you can see why we're actually coming to you right here in your screens and in your face, because we need to build this team. We can't use the same people and add another dog. That's not the point. That's not how we're growing the ministry. We want more bodies to be out in the community, and you're that body. You're somebody. So we really hope that you can prayerfully consider one of these roles that we've talked about. Get in touch with Nancy. Just see if it fits for you in a little bit of a conversation. And if you know somebody in your life who's has a little bit of free time and would be willing to help out in this, it'd be a great thing. We will be having some informational meetings.
And those will be posted very soon.
Yeah, so some Q&A times coming up, and so stay tuned. Watch the usual places to find out when those will be. So, anything else, Nancy?
Prayerfully consider it.
Yeah. Please prayerfully consider, but also be in prayer for this this new opportunity that we get to be a part of, and what a gift to be able to do this. Yeah.
Absolutely, we're blessed.
So,
definitely.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.